So, I have been ghost for a little while. I haven't posted a video in about 2 or 3 weeks, and I apologize for that, but there's a good reason behind it. I have been in Flores, Guatemala for a month, literally a month. So, I'm going to talk about my experience on the island that I lived on because I had a really unique experience, and that unique experience involved me only spending $100 that whole month. So, how I survived, I'm about to get into that right now. First off, I want to give you a little bit of background. So, before I went to Guatemala, I was in Mexico for about 2 months. And let me just be honest with you guys, I spent a lot of money there. And I really don't want to say how much I spent, but it was enough to make me realize, okay, corazón, like you really need to put yourself on a fucking budget, or else your trip is not gonna last as long as you want it to. So, in order for me to make my trip stretch, I had to come to Guatemala with the mindset of only spending on necessary things. And guys, I did not know that Guatemala was expensive. It's more expensive than Mexico. So, as you can imagine, I came there and I was very surprised by how much everything costed. The first night that I got there, I literally asked the manager if they needed any volunteers. And sure enough, I did get a volunteer position, which included hospitality and, fortunately, some food. That covered a lot of costs for my 1 month stay. For people who know me personally, know that I love to party, I love going out, and when you go out, you're gonna spend money on, the admission, on drinks, blah, blah, blah. So, luckily, when I started working at the hostel, my shift usually started at night and didn't end until about 10. And in Flores, there's a curfew at 9 o'clock, which means everything closes at 9. There's like no after parties, like there's nothing. So you can imagine that I saved a lot of money just by not going out at night. And even if I had the day off, like I still couldn't go out because like Flores was not lit. It really wasn't because like, who gets lit before 9 p.m. So near Flores, there is a lot of tourist attractions like Tikal, like Yaksha, Crater Azul, and as you can imagine, all these tours are a bit on the pricey side. So as you can imagine, I did not go to any tours. Like I didn't go to Tikal, I didn't go to Yaksha, I didn't do anything. It would take up a lot of my budget. So I had to make some sacrifices and decide, I'm just gonna come next time. Not to say that I did not have fun. I actually went to like cheaper tourist attractions, which involved going to the beach, going to the rope swing, going to La Punta, which was one of my favorite spots to swim. It was only 10 quetzales, which is about like $1 and some change. So it wasn't bad at all, seriously. Another way that I survived with $100 was that I walked everywhere. Transportation isn't as cheap in Guatemala, and I'm not saying that $2 isn't cheap. It really is, but it all adds up. So in the end, I ended up just walking everywhere, literally everywhere. And that's how I ended up tanning a lot because I would go walk during the day and I got tan. And not to mention, I spent a lot of time in the water because, like I said, going to all the water places, it's more cheaper, like the beach and, the rope swing. So, at some point, I was running really low on money. Like, I'm talking about, I only had $2 in my pocket. So, thanks to this, I was able to step out of my comfort zone and seek ways to make money. And I did the most uncomfortable thing ever. I never thought that I would do this, but I actually went to a printer place and I printed out flyers of me offering to teach English for only 20 quetzales an hour. And 20 quetzales is about $3. $3 an hour, imagine. Like, you cannot get English classes that cheap. And I decided that I needed to accommodate to everybody who was working in Guatemala. I don't know how their salary works, but I just try to make it as affordable as possible to where both sides win. So I hung up flyers all around the island of me offering to teach English. And honestly, guys, like I was even giving away free classes because I wanted people to come and learn English with me. And mind you, I am not certified in teaching English. Like, this was just something that I thought was, like, was just really easy. And it was. But I did learn a couple of things about teaching English while I was teaching one certain student. 20 quetzales was like a lot for me. So whenever I received the money, I would literally save it. Like, I didn't spend it on anything. Not to mention, I also learned that like I want to get certified in teaching English as well. So at some point, I'm gonna get certified. So another thing that I did to save money was not eat out, not buy clothes, and not buy groceries because food was already provided for me. So there wasn't really a necessity for me to buy food and cook at the hostel unless I wanted to make a dish. You're probably wondering, what did I spend my $100 on? I spent it on hospitality until I became a full-time volunteer there. Not to mention, I also spent my money on like the lanchas to get me to the water destination. So I celebrated my birthday in Guatemala, so I did go a little bit overboard with spending money. Like, I bought myself something nice. I also bought like a dish at the restaurant, and yeah, it took up a lot of my money. But I never thought that I would survive with $100 a month in another country that wasn't the U.S. or Mexico. And the fact that I was pushed to do things outside my comfort zone in order to attain money, like, I think that was the biggest lesson I took away from this whole experience. There were days where I was like legit struggling. Like, I was just like, I felt so hopeless because like I really didn't think I would have enough money to survive for the whole month. And I made it work. I made ends meet. Like, I hustled to get extra money, and I saved a lot, and I had to break a few of my bad habits. I would do it again, and I plan on doing it again because, like I said, I want to make this trip last. That's all I wanted to talk about, and yeah, now I'm back in Mexico, and I'm getting ready to go to Mexico City in 2 days. Today I'm actually going to a metal concert, as you can tell. And yeah, like, I'm very, very happy that I'm going to Mexico City. I'm going to celebrate Day of the Dead, and I'm also going to be filming the experience for you guys. I'm going to be making much more videos and much more content. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope this inspires you to save money in order for you to go travel or, to survive in a different country with that amount of money. So yeah, thank you. La Sukamati.